Yes, I can see it.
I missed that question. I do.
And I have started recording.
All right, sounds good. We will be talking very quickly and briefly on how to legitimize your side hustle. And the tagline for this was, we're not going to talk about a few things, right? And I guess that's on the next slide. Anyway, about me, my name is Colin Neat. There's the pronunciation there. I am from Memphis, Tennessee, and I've been a 20-year resident, as Miss Scott said. Is that true? Is that true? I moved here when the Ravens won the first time. That was January 2001. And it took me a lot to get here. I had to transition here. I've had a long 20-year career in software development, and I am now primarily in real estate. It might sound a lot more glamorous than it is. I'm covered in paint because yesterday I spent a couple of hours waterproofing a basement, and that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. So I'm an active real estate investor, but I can teach you how to be a passive one too. My career path includes those companies down there, and we don't need to go through them. If you have any questions about them, let me know. All right. As was in the tagline, there's some things that we will not talk about today in legitimizing your side hustle. Things we will not talk about. You can contact me later. Money for starting up or getting financing. Everybody thinks they can't have a particular business because they don't have money. That's not a problem, really. Money is out there and it is abundant. If you need more information on how to get money, please do contact me later. Oh, look, there's a presentation, a template thing. We will not talk about social media. You don't have to have an Instagram following or a great Facebook business page or whatever it is on whatever platform. You don't need it. You don't have to be making reels all day and letting people know what you ate for breakfast. That's really not how you legitimize your side hustle, although social media would have you to believe it. Really, social media, and we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about LLCs and EINs. This is probably the number one thing that I hear entrepreneurs mention as why they haven't started or why they're not selling. That's an excuse. And if you need help with it, please do contact me and I can help you set up those things. But we're not going to talk about that today. We are also not going to talk about logos and websites. You just don't need one. It's nice to have, it's good to have. But you don't need to pay for somebody to draw your name in a squiggly script. You just don't. You don't have to have a great $1 million website that you pay, all this, and it does bells and whistles and somebody runs across the screen. That is not a key element to success. You don't need a Duns and Bradstreet number and you don't need a Paydex number to get business credit. But if you want one, I can help you get there. That's not what you need to get started. Good words that I want to talk about multiple times today include audience and what it means and how you get an audience. Business bank accounts, won't talk about it a lot, but we will touch. Advertising and marketing, and I want to talk about you. And I know from our panelists, from who I think I know that you all have businesses going on and side businesses, and I want to talk about those things and what they're doing. All right, gotta plug up. Don't you hate that? All right. Go forward. Here is the crux of this discussion that we'll have today. What do you need to start making money? Here it is. If you got somewhere else to go and do something else this afternoon, take a screenshot of the screen and you are dismissed, because this is it. These are the 5 things that you need in order to make money with your side hustle, to legitimize your side hustle, right? You got a dream, you've been making something, you know something, whatever, all right? Number 1 is the mindset. I feel like there's not enough emphasis on creating the vision for success in your mind. You have to be able to understand where you are now, but where you're going. And I have a problem personally with creating a long-term vision. Where am I going to be the day before I retire? Am I going to be sitting on a beach? Am I going to be, playing with some grandkids or whatever? The day before I retire is just way too long, too far in the future for me to visualize. All right. But I do need to visualize where I want to see myself at the end of today. Tomorrow morning, what should I have accomplished? I need to understand that I can do it. And you can find lots of things on the internet about affirmations and, speaking things into existence. So I won't get into that, but it's very important that you believe that you can do this. And I just don't feel like people place enough emphasis, right? A lot of times we as adults who have lived lives get caught up in our past. And we talk about, our past jobs, our past failures, our past successes, but that's not today. I want you to look towards the future. Even today at this moment at 12 o'clock p.m., that's the past. I only want to talk about what you're going to do from 12:20 and beyond. And it doesn't have to be this large red box. It really just needs to, here's what I want to accomplish. And this is how I will move my business one step forward. All you got to do is take the one step. I believe that the mindset prevents a lot of people from ever getting started. Like all those things that I listed with the bad words, those are the things that people use as an excuse to actually never get started on their business or on their dreams. So we really have to get there. The next thing you need is an ideal customer. And hopefully you've heard this before. You must know who you're marketing to. So important. I don't care if you're making soap or doggy treats or surfboards. You need to know who you're marketing to. And you need to go so far that you have a name for your customer, right? You want to know where they live. You want to know what they do for a living. We want to know how they use their disposable income, where they shop, how much money they make, all those demographics, right? And all of those drill down into one question. What is your ideal customer's pain point? What problem are you going to solve for them? If you're selling lotion, then it might be that you're keeping them from being ashy. If you're selling dog treats, you're helping to train someone's dog. The dog keeps pulling me down the street on the leash and I don't know what to do. You must present your product as the solution to a person's problem. We call that the misery and the miracle. They must be able to transition from the misery to the miracle. And I have notes that I can send you later. I'm not going to go through a bunch of slides on the screen. These are the key points that I want you to take away, but I can send these to you later. If you don't know who your ideal customer is, there's about a jillion ways to figure that out, right? And I personally recommend using the trends feature on Google Trends. Pinterest does it too, Pinterest Trends. Facebook does some audience insights, but you can't rely on those. Facebook knows what brand coffee everybody drinks every day. And Facebook knows who you talk to. And Facebook knows where you were at 7 o'clock last night, right? And who was with you. If you've noticed, if you have streaming TV, you'll notice that those streams know so much about you, their ideal customer, that sometimes the commercials will pop up for the thing that you were just thinking about. You don't even have to have searched for it anymore. You can think about it and it will pop up in a commercial. I know personally that I never said certain words out loud, but because they know who I was talking to, who I was sitting next to at 7 o'clock yesterday, they can deduce what my pain point is and they present me with the problem right there. So one of those bad things we're not going to talk about. Most of the things that people want to know is, can they monetize their product? Yep. whatever it is, it can be purple people eaters, whatever it is, as long as you know who your ideal customer is. If you're selling plant clippings, you probably don't want to market to elementary school kids. And if you do, you're wasting a lot of money and time. If you aren't familiar with like the Google Trends and things that I mentioned, there's a very simple and straightforward way to find out who your ideal customer is. Call people, survey them, talk to friends of friends. What is your pain point surrounding what I believe my niche is? You'll be surprised at what their pain point is, and it may even change your product, right? Um, Here's an example. If you are making doggy treats, right, and you talk to a survey of people, and I want you to talk to a minimum of 30 and record their answers so that you have a significant sampling. And you are selling these dog treats and you're talking to this person, and you may find out that their issue is that their dog's paws get crusty. They're not really having an issue with the dog treats, right? Their paws get crusty. So you can look at it and say, okay, I've been making doggy treats. I have these ingredients that I'm using to make these treats. Can I make a balm for doggy paws to sell either instead or alongside my current product line? So survey people, talk to people. You actually have to talk to people. I'm stressing this. Don't guess. Don't guess what you think your customers want. Go ask people. Find some people. Flip through I was about to say the white papers. They may not have that anymore. If you do use the evil social media, post a question. I posted a question yesterday that some people saw, and I said, hey, what are you listening to? What if I was coming up with a rap album? And these people are my audience, and none of them listen to rap. Then I've perhaps need to change my direction or change my audience. All right, so survey people, talk to people. Be the miracle to their misery. All right. Of course, the more people you talk to, the better. Don't just stop at 30 if you can. And the more, the better. And once you get those people, a good idea, then I want you to name your ideal customer. Give her a name, Colonette. And she has brown hair and she's about 5'2.5". She lives in Baltimore City, not Baltimore County, right? She has a pain point where her plants keep dying. And I sell plant clippings, plant food. What does she need? All right. Moving on. The third thing, an email list. Old school. Old school. If you remember, shoot, I don't know how old you guys are, but I remember when people started dogging me for my email address. Just dogging me for it at every time. Like you would go someplace in person and there would be a book there. You would go somewhere online and they say, hey, sign my guest book. Most of those people didn't even know what to do with those email addresses. What I want to tell you that it is the most valuable tool in your arsenal to make money, online, offline, around and through. Email lists. If you were to spend a significant amount of time and effort on one of those evil social media, things, you building up your follows, you getting those clicks, those people, you're showing them your products, people may never buy it. You may be actually spending money and taking time away from what you could be doing because social media does not convert as well as an email list. Also, with an email list, you own it. You own that list of emails. You can talk to those people at any moment. Now, you shouldn't talk to them at any moment. People don't like to be talked to. They don't like a lot of emails in their inbox and spam. But you own those emails. If Big Blue shut down in 5 minutes, you wouldn't have that audience anymore. You wouldn't have those followers. There's nothing you can do. If they decide for whatever reason that you violated a policy and they suspend your account, which we see a lot that happens to people, you can't talk to those people anymore. You just lost your entire audience, right? You need their email address, even if they already follow you. You need to be able to get right in front of their eyes, right? And you can talk to your audience without selling them anything. And they'll ask you what they can buy from you. You have to create a connection that's outside of those platforms, those people. All those people are competing for those same eyeballs as well, right? But once you are on a person's phone screen or their computer screen, you've got their undivided attention. You can talk to them about, that's when you can tell them what you had for breakfast. But you should be tying it into the products that you're marketing. All right, email list. To get people to give you their emails, you must give them something valuable. And if you've heard any online marketing terms, we call it a lead magnet. You must be able to give them something valuable that makes them want to hear from you in the future. You gave them something free. Right now, one of my lead magnets is a 30-day guide to eliminate your job. Now, you might not be able to quit your job at the end of my 30 days, but I'm going to give you valuable tips to move forward to early retirement in 30 days. Real live valuable tips. So now I've gotten their email address. I confirmed their email address, right? Because I got them to look at my document, my PDF, and now I have a key, have their ears as long as I want. Emails 6 and 7, now I start selling them my book. Emails 12 through 18, I'm selling them my online courses. A friend of mine makes the dog treats. I'm putting a little ad at the bottom of my email to advertise their dog treats. A person I don't know wants to advertise their swimsuit collection. Now they have to pay me for that advertising space for the eyeballs of my email list. Must have email. It's going to win every time. Next is the ability to take money. And this is a double entendre, right? Because I really wrote this as the physical ability to take money. Cash App, Venmo, Stripe, cash, which I don't recommend. I don't like cash. I tell people not to take cash because cash is like water to me, right? And it is a very good, it can tank your business, right? Taking cash. You took that $20 for this jar of body butter, you put it in your pocket, you don't even know where the $20 came from, who gave it to you. You don't have any contact information to sell them another jar of body butter, right? So cash, I just simply don't recommend. Also, the fact that you could be robbed of cash, right? But the second part of the double entendre about the ability to take money is to be comfortable and confident of your product that you can take money. You know, most of the people that start businesses and are selling things never tell anybody, and then they wonder why they don't make any money. You know, for some reason, society has a mindset that if you tell somebody that you have this business, that you're either bragging or you're begging or you're overly confident and they don't want to see you and nobody wants to be sold to, right? Well, those people on my email list, they asked me to sell to them. They signed up. They said, hey, could you sell me something? And you will. So there's a mindset. You deserve this money. That goes back into those affirmations. Money comes to me easily. I deserve this money. The product that I am putting out, I'm proud of. All right. And if I'm not proud of it, I'm going to scrap it and start over. If I don't want my mom to buy it because I'm not proud of it, then I shouldn't be selling it. What is the point? Go get another job. Starting a business is not for you. So going back to the original meaning, the ability to take money. I know that a lot of people are really worried about the tax reporting that Cash App and Venmo says that they're going to do. The IRS is not looking for you. You didn't even sell anything yet. The IRS is not looking for you until you start doing, I was going to say 1 million gross, but even 500,000 gross in product sales, nobody cares who you are. Take the Cash App, take the Venmo, take the PayPal, take the Stripe. Don't worry about them. Oh, they're going to report my income and it's going to mess up my refund for next year. Good. That means you made so much money that you did not give the government that annual loan. And then they gave you a piece back. Yeah, no. All right. So be prepared, whatever it is. If you get to the point where you're doing such a high volume of sales and you need to upgrade because Cash App or whomever has said, hey, you bring in so much money, we want to charge you a fee, then come and talk to me. And I'll set you up with a credit card processing system that you will save money on per transaction. But once you get there, until you get there, don't worry about it. Use what's free. Use what's easy. If you're a landlord and you've got one tenant, take the tenant's cash. I mean, Cash App. Take the Cash App, right? Make it easy for you. You don't need a big, super big property management system. Yeah, they can pay you in Cash App. It's better than checks that get lost in the mail. All right. And lastly, accountability. Oh my gosh. I think I've said for every one of these bullet points that this is the most important one, but this is really the most important one, accountability. I wish I could hear you guys. How many of you have a problem completing the tasks related to getting your business off the ground? I can't see you there, but I believe that most people online would say that they do, right? I was taking my dog to doggy daycare today, and I was walking down the street, and there was this lady that I knew, and I told her I was making this presentation, and she said, "Yeah, I have a product, but my problem is, I don't like." I go, "Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow," or "Yeah, I'm too tired after work." It is so helpful to have a process in place that will hold you accountable on a regular basis. Ideally daily, but weekly if you have to, and say, hey, you know those things that you said you're going to do, did you do them? Right? And even just knowing that this person is going to ask you these questions should light a fire under you to help you move your business forward, right? This should be a human if any way possible. My planner is around here somewhere. I write everything down, but my planner is not going to tap me on the shoulder at 9:30 p.m. and say, hey, did you send those orders out? Right? It's just not. So ideally, this should be a human. Yep, I got a phone reminder on my phone, but I tell you what, when that reminder alarm goes off, I snooze. I don't do it. So this should be a human. Oh, and my next point about this may be a little controversial. It should not be a friend. Friends do not count in the accountability mind space, because you know what? Your friends, as much as they love you, they have difficulty holding your feet to the fire, and they have their own plans and family and everything going on as well. So you want someone who is not going to cut you any slack. Friends and family are going to cut you some slack. I feel like, and I've seen this to be true, we will take we will make it a priority if it's a stranger, because we want to present this ideal work ethic to a stranger. But if you're talking to a friend, oh, the baby threw up, and blah blah blah, a stranger will be like, so I don't know your baby. So ideally a stranger. There are tons of apps out there that do this. I've used a few myself. Search for anything called Focus Mate. Focus Mate is one. Um, Search in your Play Store for things about body doubling, which is a key point. I know I talk about this a lot to my friends and family, but I have ADHD. And I didn't get diagnosed until very late in life. And I didn't know why I kept procrastinating, right? A lot of times, body doubling is just having somebody on the screen while you work. And when you fade off and lose focus and you start searching Amazon, when you look back up on the screen, they're still looking at you, right? You don't talk, as a matter of fact. You do not talk in body doubling. You may set times to check in. Oh, we're going to check in at about 11:45, right before lunch, and then we'll be back online at like 1:15 or whatever it is. Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces, they also, in their rooms, they have rooms where they do this. I don't think that it's as useful as having someone on the screen, but they will have rooms where it's 50 people in the room and everybody's on mute. And you know that somebody's out there. And then they do a check-in. Did you complete your tasks? Right? I just think that is key and essential, that you must report to somebody, even if they have no influence over whether you get paid or not. Ideally, that person would be another business owner, so that they may be able to help you through some pain points. I'm speeding up. This is my next to last slide, don't worry. And one great thing about that body doubling and that accountability, it forces you to have a plan. When you get on with your accountability partner or your screen mate or whatever, you need to be able to say, okay, here are the things that I'm going to accomplish during this session. And at the end, did you do it? Right? So business owner helps, but it forces you to have a plan. All right. We're not at Q&A yet, but we can come back to this slide at any time. Advance. Other topics that we can talk about, you can contact me to talk about later, are things that are here on the screen. I know that something is misspelled, but I didn't have time to fix it. How to make an LLC step by step. I can make a LLC from the moment I decide to make an LLC. I can get an LLC and a certificate of good standing in 90 minutes or less. I have a template. I know how much it's going to cost. I write out the check. I'm telling you. So if you need help with that, please do reach out. Anything related to real estate or rental properties or flipping properties or wholesaling properties, I'm your person. If you need more information about market research, how to identify that ideal customer in your target audience, I do that as well. How to make physical products, get those jars of body butter. I've seen it on YouTube and squeeze in the jar, and it's great. How to make digital products, especially digital knowledge products. You can take this presentation that I did here for 20 minutes and I can put it online somewhere and have people buy it for 99 cents. I wouldn't, I don't plan to do that, but imagine if you can record something for 20 minutes and then post it and drive traffic to it. And now you're making money while you sleep. And none of these other people out here know more about your industry than you. You're the subject matter expert. People should be paying you for that. Online marketing, direct mail. I'm good at direct mail. And then if you ever need me to meet with you to talk about an advanced topic like automation, how you're going to retire yourself, how you're going to take your one-man band and make it into a well-oiled machine while you go move to the beach, reach out to me. Hopefully the next slide has my contact information. Yay, it does. My email address has just, that domain in the bottom right has just about every website that makes me money somehow. And as I mentioned, I'm primarily focused on real estate right now. So all of those websites are around real estate, where I buy houses from people, where I sell houses from people, where I rent houses to people, where I teach people how to make money with real estate. All of those links are there. I think the kids call it a link tree nowadays. Mm-hmm. The middle has my email addresses. All of those go to the same inbox. I just like to give you choices. You can call me Mickey. Professionally, I tend to go by Mickey. And then that's my number, 443-296-3062. I am extension 105. And you can text me as well. You don't have to put the extension. You can fax me as well to the same number. All right. All right. So that was page 15 out of 15. So I can stop sharing and open the floor for questions.
That was excellent. Thank you very much. If anyone has a question, please feel free to raise your hand. I can unmute you and you can ask whatever question your heart desires. Don't be shy.
Well, you're all making $1 million a year already. I can tell. And nobody is at work right now, I'm sure. Right?
Oh, we have a question. We have a question.
All right.
The question I have is, have you ever, as many properties as you have you ever gone through tenant fatigue where, hey, I'm actually tired of this particular tenant where, they're paying on time, they're not damaging it, but there may be little nuances where, you know what, I'd rather just get rid of this person, but although, they're paying, making the payments, but you got to fix the faucet 1 month, you got to fix a refrigerator 4 months later, you got to fix something, and then you just get fatigued and they almost want to get rid of the property because nothing too much they're doing, but you're just fatigued with the tenant. Thank you.
Yes. The answer is yes. Well, my answer is sub B, the sub B answer, we can talk later. If you have fatigue as a landlord, sell me the property. Let me take it. Let me buy it from you. That's my answer. And that is actually so funny because tired landlords are one of my target customers. I'm just tired. I have a tenant who, I don't care what it is, she just got an attitude. And it has gotten to be that I just do not like communicating with this person, right? I just, if I know I have to communicate with this person, it will just give me anxiety all day. What you need is a middleman. You need property management. Don't let that tenant take money out of your pocket. Even though they're paying their rent, if you have more than, I would say, 10% maintenance costs a year, then they are taking money out of your children's mouths. All of those little things, the appliance fixes. Also, yep, you can get rid of the tenant. Like, oh, I just don't even feel like being bothered with this tenant anymore. You can end their lease. At the end of their lease, you may need to give them some notice. But if you want to end their lease early, you can as a landlord. Check your lease agreement, whatever you have with them. You can also do what we call cash for keys, where we pay a tenant to move out. You know what? Oh, I don't want to deal with you anymore. Or they're squatting. We have that too. Or they're not paying their rent. If you give them a couple $100, they will move out. Now, the problem with that is landlord turnover between every tenant. So you gotta get the place clean. You gotta give it a new paint job. That money is money coming out of your children's mouths. My puppy needs to go to daycare every day, and I'm going to make sure that nobody is taking the money that she needs for that. So, if you can maintain the tenant, get a property management company or person to be the go-between. My problem is that I own the property management company, so it still ends up being me. But yeah, it's a good problem to have. If you want to sell the property, let me know. I sure will buy it. I don't even know, but if it's livable, like a person can live in it, I'll buy it. Good question.
One last question. So I have looked into a property manager, and when I try to weigh, okay, faucet repair maybe 70 some buck or 80 some bucks January, and then another repair in May, and then another one in September. I find myself hard to pay 120 a month for a property manager who may not have nothing to do, for several months, but yet and it's almost like my insurance I have, for repairs. You need it when it's there, but there
Right.
are multiple months that go, and you're like, dang, do
What
I
am I
really
paying
should?
you for?
By the time I've gotten 500, 5 months, I've paid the property manager 5 months before I've actually had a need for them. Has anyone, seen anything where, hey, should I really get a property manager when it's low maintenance for someone, but I get what you're saying in regards to having a middleman.
I understand as a property manager that does collect my my landlord's money. Yeah, sometimes I think that too. Like, wow, you're paying me $120 a month, and I didn't even talk to this tenant like all month. But you know what? I made sure that tenant didn't talk to you. That's all. And that's what you're paying for, your time and your peace of mind as an owner, right? That headache is somebody else's. And also a good property management company will do enough inspections where they can head off a lot of those small maintenance things, right? $75 for a faucet, blah, blah, blah. A good property management company would have already seen that the faucet was loose and went over there and tightened it up during their regular inspections, right? Instead of letting it drip and the tenant didn't tell you for months and months. A good property manager would be on top of that. They would also have contracted maintenance workers in place so they could get you the best price. Again, I own the property management company, and for the peace of mind of my owners who are usually out of state, if I know that I can go and fix the faucet or I can go and cut the grass, I will, and I'll charge them less because, hey, it's better for me. It saves me time and effort, and that's what it's all about. It should be on your property management company to be doing those things, and ultimately, they should be saving you money, either by physical goods like physical money or by peace of mind. This is not something that I'm going to bed thinking about tonight. I'm happy to talk to you offline if you need recommendations. Or if you want to be in property management, I can tell you about how to do that too.
Thank you very much. I don't see any other hands raised, so I just really want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. I want to thank you all that joined the Baltimore County Commission for Women today. We do hope that this was fruitful information for you. And we want you to look out for our next speaker series, which will be held on July the 20th, also at noon. And at that point, we're going to be speaking with a licensed psychologist, and she will be talking about creating a work-life balance. Please like us on Facebook. Please follow us on Instagram. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Ms. Cheers. And thank you all.